Hey, what's up, folks? Back. It's been a while. um, but part of the reason I haven't been on this stream as much is I've been elsewhere. I've been on the I was on Fenris Cloud's channel to do Infect versus Goblins, kind of a fun exhibition. Played some matches. That was a lot of fun. You can check out those games on his channel, twitch.tv/Fenris Cloud. It should be up for another 2 or 3 weeks, I think. And a lot of those games were really good and pretty interesting, so I would definitely recommend checking those out. So last stream, I claimed to have found the build, I was feeling good about it, I had pretty solid results. I had good theory. But then, someone went 9th in the Legacy Showcase that I couldn't play in, unfortunately. But they got 9th in the showcase with goblins, and a very different kind of goblins. They had it was almost like a port in from Modern. It had very little mana denial. It was like 2 wastelands and that's it. And really heavy on Snoop combo. It's like 4 Snoops and like 3 Harbingers, I think. And like just like 22 lands, like all sorts of crazy shit. I talked to them, talked to the player, whose name was Jugan Yu, I think. So that's their meta name, and talked to them. They're kind of coming from a Modern experience. They didn't have a lot of Legacy background, but they crushed this tournament. Right, 9th is really good in the 200 something player showcase. And so I was thinking, they I think the thing that stuck out to me is they said that they drew relevant cards off of Snoop about half the time compared to comboing. And that made me think, what if Snoop is kind of doing what Grenzo was doing in my old list, but a little more synergistically. The high highs won't be as high, but it'll be more consistent. And it won't have the annoying like Caracas vulnerability. And so I ran a league with something very close to this, and got a 5-0 on my first shot, and that was very encouraging. And I had a couple like weaker leagues, but I've now had 2 5-0s with the Snoop list, a bunch of 4-1s and 3-2s, like usually pretty positive. And I've worked with Marcelo Scatena a lot to figure this out. So we've got 2 value Snoops in here, 2-drop slot, and so we've got this kind of funky 2-2-2-2-2-2 on Raider, Pile Driver, War Marshal, Snoop, Expert, Gem Palm, or 2 CMC things. And I guess the other like very noticeable thing I think is that we've got 5 basic mountains, and a relatively low. We only got 12 black sources, but the way this deck is built is that it doesn't have that much reliance on black, so you can fetch out mountains really easily. And this list also has 17 red sources, which is like kind of insanely good. So we're much less likely to get mana screwed on red sources. It's like a very common Goblins problem. The conspicuous content we crave, yeah. And even before the showcase came out, if you read my article on the Patreon, you should, by the way, shameless plug, you should check that out. It's I mentioned at the end there that something I wanted to test in the near future was Snoop again with Arcanist, Oko, and Astrolabe Band, because Oko and Arcanist really punished Snoop. Like everything you want to be doing with Snoop, if it was against control, it'd become a 3/3 elk. If it was against Arcanist, you'd get bolted like every single time. And now you're just like allowed to play creatures instead of just like all tokens in this new legacy format. So you can play cards like Snoop and not feel stupid, which is pretty refreshing. Sorry, I just drank really like close to the mic for some reason. Uh, so Snoop's been really good so far. Is basically what I'll say. It's just like it's stuck on the board for a longer amount of time than it had previously. It generated cards more easily. The mana base being fixed makes it a little less painful. Like Snoop does have some awkwardness with some of your sequencing. Like you'll want to get a card out of it, but that card on top of your deck might not be the actual optimal one to cast. But if you don't cast it, then you don't get it as a free card. You know what I mean? So that awkwardness still exists, but the games aren't as condensed in this new format. The turns that matter go out a decent bit longer than the old format. Like the old format was a lot of games would be effectively over or close to over on turn 3. And then they'd go on for like 8 turns or something after that, but the game would be over. It'd be just a lot of dead time. That's less the case now. I think also the rise of discard spells has really helped Snoop. Snoop's really good against Hymn to Turok. That's like a real like Hymn to Turok and Thoughtseize and Inquisition. Like if you have Snoop on play, those cards are pretty bad, you know. So Snoop's a great way to punish discard heavy strategies. And if you can just delay them, like if they're spending their mana killing your Snoops and dealing with your board, and they're not hymning or Thoughtseizing you as much, then you get the moment to, you know, get your ringleader down before it got discarded, and that's like a really important play pattern. Setting up your synergies before they get disrupted by the discard spells. People just want Muxus. Yeah, Muxus is still good. I had been running one, but there's a lot of show and tell, and it's just like Muxus is kind of broken. Even though I don't like that it gets stuck in your hand a decent amount of the time, it's still just kind of like a broken card that I should probably just play 2 of, no matter what, fortunately. So we're 2-0 in this league right now. I'm on a 9-match win streak. I've beaten lands twice in this league, which is pretty cool. Can even drop a game. Blood Moon is very good, that's what I'll say. I guess it only showed up in game 2. Kill him. Usually plays like lands. Blue green lands is what I last saw them on, but I'm mulligan this. Okay. Not a great hand. I kept 7. I don't know the bottom here. I mean, if I know they're playing lands, that I bottom the cavern pretty easily. But if they're on a blue deck, it's like a totally different deal. Could bottom the second matron. Keep my lands backed as much as possible. I guess I'll do that. Definitely regret that. We kind of need our 3rd land anyway, so. Yeah, Kranko's just not a good card anymore, unfortunately. Okay, that's not just exciting. I actually will fetch here because I would be happy to draw another. This matron's probably getting Prospector. Whoa. Oh no. This matchup is absolutely rancid. All right. Yeah. Just like horrific matchup here. They can just cast Primeval Titan and I'll die. Okay. Wasteland is something I needed to not see. Okay. Double arrow. So we need this Muxus to hit like double expert. Double expert war chief. Palace? Oh, tabernacle. Great. Even more. uh Mana short on Moxus. Let's see if we can hit anything off. Can kill Reclaimer. Doesn't really do any. All right, so need them to have nothing. Kill this. Then Wasteland. Sure. Double Valcut. All right, well, we've queued into like one of the worst matchups imaginable. That's cool. Very classic. I got an impression to do. Okay, let me think about it. Oh, we sideboard here. All right, Chamber's bad. Jump Palms, like, slow. I guess Relic is good. They're playing Uro. Surgical. Getting like these. Just put the Jump Palm. Uh, Relic is like a little too slow. Kind of want to leave in one ring leader. I don't think they play Marrow Age, so I'm not going to bring the Caracas. We kind of need War Marshal to get our experts to kill X4s. I just got the last ring leader. Or maybe Pithy Needle doesn't do it, actually. I think between Trashmaster, Caracas, Needle, Relic is like pretty close, but I don't know exactly what they're doing. All right, impression. All right, I'm gonna keep this and then die to turn one reclaimer, but that's how it is sometimes. Um, Kermit Frog here. Not feeling Kermit today. Can't do the Kermit. Usually have a good Kermit, but not now. I'm thinking, don't worry about it, Marduk, I got you. Okay, there's a valve. Verifying. Okay, that's a good sign. Oh, I should have played this in case of crop rotation for Dryad Arbor. Fuck. Okay, never punished. They dead? Holy shit. That's just a turn 2 kill. This gets Mogwai Marshal. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. That's like easily a turn 2 kill. Well, I'm screenshotting that. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I might board an Tarfire to have an answer to turn 1 Reclaimer on the draw. Wow. All right. Alrighty then. I should have a Crater Maker, maybe. Crater Maker's just like bad shock most of the time. Boarding in better shock. You know, this hand, it's scary. They kept 7 cards. I don't know. Skuk Prospector, he's good. I don't know if he's that good, though. I think we mulligan. I always need more cowbell. Uh... Problem is, this lackey's like super low chance to connect. I think we got a high roll. I'm thinking I kind of need all my red cards because of Pyrokinesis. I go Ancient Tomb, Dryad, kind of lose. You can just play a 2-4 in turn 2. That ramps them. Yeah, this card's like... basically have to top deck Pyrokinesis. Yep. Yeah, matchup's so... this card's unbeatable. This card's really, really stupid against me in particular. Like, even if we draw Pyrokinesis, like... And they're playing Plague Engineer. Cool. We're now in the bind of kind of have to Tarfire this, but I'll just not play my Skirk. They're like almost certainly going to play Plague Engineer. Unless this is just a cunning bait. We didn't see black from them at all. They don't have Plague Engineer. Okay. That was a really good draw. Okay. Our Sling Gang's going to be stuck in our hand, but... Alright, no Force of Vigor. Green Sun. Okay. A little awkward that you left in both Experts, no Gem Palms. Oh, I should have held. No, I can hardcast Pyrokinesis. Might be Force Vigor. Yeah. Alright, we tried. Sun for Excavator. Or Prime Time. Wow. Did we really only need one more turn? Probably only needed one more turn. Whatever. Horrific matchup is horrific. A ramp deck that you can't wasteland or port effectively, and they play ridiculously huge blockers. And they have Valakut and Plague Engineer. Like, it's not a realistically winnable matchup by any stretch. I'd rather play against any combo deck than the Dryad decks. I hate that Primeval Titan is playable in Legacy now. I fucking hate Primeval Titan. it's like such a modern card. Get out of my format. Roger Steady. Alright, usually on Painter. Goldfish says... Alright, well, I'm keeping this hand regardless of matchup, but... Probably leading on port here. Bayou. Okay, so they're on depths. Weird. Depths before. So this is my 4th lands-based deck to play against this league. So this league has been lands, Dryad, depths, league. Could also be, I mean, an ant actually. Ant leading on Bayou is weird, but not impossible. with that. Crater Maker means we're not dead to Pithing Needle, at least. We have a Decay for the Vial and we don't draw land. Trouble, but... Is this Jun? I guess it's a free attack. I could sack 2 things and like play Ringleader, but it's by duress. Playing against. Like this way, if they hit me, like I only get 1 card. Granted, it's my best card, but like, okay, loot card once upon a. Okay. Okay. Somewhat checked. Okay, they're gonna play once upon. Fine with that. Do wish I let on caverns at a port now, obviously. Thoughtseize. Goodbye, Ringleader. Well, we're hitting them for a lot. Draw. App. That's terrifying. Poor Woodman. I guess this is just Jund. And it just really sucks that our well, we can get into a spot where top deck Sling Gang kills them. A lot of draws. Interesting, so they're signing me. Or they're playing the ooze. Oh, ooze is in exile, right? Okay, so the last card is coming out. Okay. I don't think I am. So I top deck Munitions Expert. I can kill the Goyf. I leave it on level. Got 3 matrons, 4 chiefs, or 2 war chiefs, Pashlik Munsel. So if we swing with everything, they take 1, 2, 4, 5. Grand Imposter, thanks for the follow. They block this Skirk. They take 6 down to 3. Set the top deck. Damage. All right, we're attacking. Pretty important that they didn't block the Skirk. That actually keeps our lines a lot more open. I Badlands for if I top deck Expert in the next couple of turns. That's actually a mistake. Okay, now I go to 4. Classic. Bolt Imperial Recruiter. This is quite a deck. All right, sick rip. I should have held the Badlands. Bad. Also really awkward that the turn I tick it up to 4. It happened. Our outs would be a lot better if I had held the Badlands. Growth. can't beat the Punishing Fire from there. Opponent's on some Jund bullshit. Bloodman's gonna be really good. Relic's gonna be one pyrokinesis. Plagues and such. I don't want Tarfire against a Goyf deck. All their shit X3 or bigger. Go. I don't know. Chainmail actually attacks into a lot of stuff. 3/3 first strikes, no joke. Yeah, Tarfire is big. I want both pile gyros because honestly, I think we have to aggro them out. We can't go super long. These matchups today, jeez. Like, I said main deck duress and happened to hit. I think that's actually so bad is the fact that they managed to hit with their duress. If we had an extra vial and continue playing for a lot longer. Guess powder, but I don't like it. All right. Got top deck well. Is Kinesis really good against them? It's not so much good as necessary, I think. I want a way to kill like one of their big threats. Without needing stuff on board. Oh, surgical? I don't want to board in surgical. I already brought in 2 relics. Might be putting in Jump Palm off of Lackey. Ooh, no land? Oh, Pog. Alright. Next. So I kept a 1-lander with Once Upon a Time. Can't Inquisition this at least. Nice, we've skillfully outplayed them. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point for Muxus emote. Run it back. Could board in second Skirk on the draw, but I'm worried about Plague. Okay. This hand's playable. We have double Vial in case of Collector Oof. I mean, Thoughtseize if they have Oof and we draw some lands, at least we can Crater Maker it. So we have Relic for Goyfs and Channeler and P-Fire. Relic should be really, really good in this matchup. We are soft to a Wasteland, but We have 24 lands in our deck. Don't want to mulligan too hard. 6, okay. The turn 1 discard spell's nice. Otter, potentially not bad. Potentially not bad. If they decay this, we really want another land very, very quickly. Fast? No. This channeler, that's not that big a deal. You get an exclamation point deck list to check the what I'm on right now. Why? Fucking called it. It's probably not even playing Green Sun Zenith, they just have oof. Well, Pyrokinesis would be insane. What it's kind of a crazy attack. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. About to cast Bloodbraid Elf. Revoker? What is this deck? What the fuck is this deck? Alright, sure. Oh, if we draw a red source, we can jump on this and cycle us towards more lands. Can you call this good stuff, though? A lot of these cards are bad. So it's jund bad stuff. Land, 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 land. Thank you. Okay. Alright, we're gonna cycle jump home. Go another land. Pyrokinesis. Okay, land at least. Yeah. That was a pretty funny tweet. If we get this oof off the battlefield, like, got very good setup, actually. Yeah, they have library, but play more threats. Okay with punishing fire. Okay. He's not. That's not a good goblin leg. And I'm gonna upkeep kill the oof. Of decay. I might decay a vial in response. This wastes their mana at least. Fucking okay. Well, we can major for expert and kill this. 0 cards. Alternatively, just pardon the war. Problem is, kill one channeler. Like, not even that good. Oh, they only have 1 card, so Force of Vigor couldn't have happened. Unless they did it on their upkeep. Back to the thing. Sucked. Stuff. Yeah, yeah, Revoker, oof, Ancient Grudge. Pretty gross. Jump Palm. I feel like we need Ringleader eventually. Maybe I just have to draw it. Can cycle with this. Yeah, Expert's like the kind of straight up play. We'll have 3/1/1s. We can file on this, file on this. Or I mean, cast this. Just like getting Matron for Expert in this spot's kind of low value. You know what I mean? Outside of these being blockers, don't matter that much. Don't have got Sylvan. Alright, I'll just get the Expert. It's the best play against a discard spell as well. It's really fucking bad against Plague Engineer. I guess they can't freely activate this that much because of the lackey. So they have removal. Because this doesn't really work well at instant speed. This part. I also might not shatter my vial, my second vial, since they saw that I've hit my lands. Could this pile driver be anything else? We left 1. Or makes this could be a pyrokinesis. Definitely be better as a pyrokinesis, but not that much better as anything else. Okay, sure. Okay. So I took 4 off library. It's time to play our stuff. Fine if they kill the war chief in response here. Interesting. Lackey's actually low value, and they don't know that, so I think I attack here. This eats a removal spell. Pile driver pulls a removal spell out of their hand, that's fine. Block the lackey, that's fine. The lackey's gonna die. Okay. Eventually. And I have nothing to put in anyway. Plus I have a second lackey, so at least getting in for 4. And their life total's a resource with the library in play. Alright, best draw by a mile. This is ringleader. Another expert would be good. A jump home would be good too. Him would be really annoying. But I mean, if they him us and then we draw something good, draw a matron, we can matron for expert, kill this, swing for 5. Oh, it's hateful. This is a hateful fucking deck. Alright, ringleader. Time is now. Land. Imri. That's wrong. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Left in duress. Certainly a choice. I don't have any 5-drops. I'm not really priced into crocking. Ashley's not bad. I could start activating Pashlik next. Also, this turns off Plague Engineer. Actually, a really good draw insurance. Most of our bad draws have gone out of the way. We only have 2 vials left, 1 lackey left, 1 skirk left. Got 3 matrons, 3 ringleaders. Land away from Muxus, unfortunately. It's okay. Okay, if we top deck Sling, they die. Interesting. Could shrink the Goyf right now. I get the P-Fire. Take 1 instead of 4. Got a draw step. Get 2 looks at Sling Gang. And like a pretty free attack on Goyf. No cards in hand. Pop Relic. Alright, well now we can draw Muxus. I'm gonna port green. Oh no, Scavenging Ooze doesn't matter. You gotta be pretty careful. Bunch of discard spells that don't do anything. Sling Gang. Swing Leader. 5/6. Not gonna fetch first because it goes Goy. I think I do not play my land because of Kolgun's command. It's worse against him, but I don't really need the 7th land anyway. Inquisition. Well, they can't Thoughtseize either. So it does actually have to be him to get the Muxus out of our hand. Okay. It looks like it does something, but it doesn't. All right. Praise be. Praise be. We beat a lot of shit that game. Relic was really good. That Goyf was a 4/5 and they had a punishing fire. That was a really good Relic. Saved us like a million life and let us attack for 2. What a deck indeed. All right, 3-1. That was a stressful game. That was a stressful game. Thank God they never found Plague Engineer. I thought when they played, when they took 4 off library and played Abrupt Decay, I thought that was gonna happen. All right. Clearly better than Lantern. Hell yeah, yeah. So our opponent's usually on Delver, right? prowess. It's pretty slow. It's not bad, but okay, this at least has 1-drops. And bottom the port. Mess like weird with our land sequencing. I don't know. We might want to port on turn 2 actually. Ooh. All right, now I wish I had my wasteland. Snap resolved. Okay. Barber. I don't believe their deck plays Wasteland, so all right, got the Delver. And I will sack Expert to play Vile. Days Vile. Okay. True name? Or maybe Forager? Fair enough. Hmm. Snoop is kind of appealing here. Could also get Lackey. Let's hold back the true name. Mulgrim Marshall. Well, I can still just play the Muxus, like not hard. Snoop's actually quite good here. I might end step sack Matron to port if they leave up Volk. That's really bad against Bolt though. Alright, I probably won't do. Oh, they do. It's not prowess. Tapping like this is really bad against Chain Lightning. Okay. Pretty decent draw. Oh shit, I should have cast Matron. Okay, Snoop. 3, I'll take. Is this on top? Okay. All right. Gotta be a little wary of a stifle. Bolt Skirk. Fortunately, got a chump. We go Matron. Expert the Goyf. Alternatively, I could set up Matron for Sling Gang. Let me with this though. I double block the Goyf. It's really bad against. 'Em. We actually are dead to bolt next turn. Not quite actually. Might kill the borrower instead of the Goyf actually. Three cards, we know one of them's a daze. Mountain Hunt. I think I just pass here. See what they do. Yeah, good jump. Unfortunate, we're cycling into a vial. Ringler in top section. Fun up to not draw second max. Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah, that was definitely better. Because the second Muxus doesn't do anything. We did double bolt. Of this? Burrow. Pashlik Mons. Alright, we'll ringleader into him. Four, you say? And I still have a lackey on top. Okay. Okay. I need Sling Gang on top. Damn. think I need to port, keep him off a row. All right, well, we can attack. I think. Yeah. We have him down to 9. Oh, why isn't this attacking? I swear I clicked on this. Wow, that was really bad. Okay. That was really bad. He had 11. That could definitely cost me. So if I played Lackey, play Vile, probably Daze the Vile, but they might not. They don't have to. Actually, no reason. Vile. And they bring back Uro, my ringleader. After drawing the land for self 4 mana. So the Lackey could connect if I draw a removal spell for the Goyf. And the Lackey connecting, putting in Muxus gives me so many looks at Sling Gang. I hope they daze this. Just to like use the daze. They should be at 11. Be unfortunate. Yeah, they won't attack with Goyf. Likely. They're gonna be at 60. It's gonna be very tough to raise this true name. So it's not even actually a point in taking up Vile to 5 because I find Slinging. I'm dead next turn no matter what. I think a Skirk my best draw. Alright, well, Sling is my best draw, but I want to draw that mountain. Oh, there's the Sling Gang. Oh my god. Wait. If I play Pashlik, do I have lethal? 2, 4. Oh my god, Sling on top. It's so insane. Four, 6, 8, 10. Back with everything but the Snoop. That's insane. And we couldn't cast the sling gank if we ringleadered into it. It needed to be on top of our deck. Wow. Alright, Relic's really good. Blasts are good. They're playing both TNN and Uro. Wow. Oh man. I like Moon against them. Maybe not on the draw. I also don't think Surgical is crazy. Because if you Surgical Trap, you win, and Surgical and Uro is good. Let's see what we want to cut, though. I think... Oh, we saw Hex Drinker. That's true. War Chiefs. I mean, pretty good against that card. The Lackey, show Pile Driver. And I board out the Hex Drinker. Earth. I don't know if I want to sideboard more than these. Oh, second. This seems like a pretty reasonable setup. Blast for Borrower, Delver, TNN, Uro, Relic for Goyf, and Uro. We got Rug Delver here. He stole game 1. It's very, very close. I think I'll bring in Bloodmoon on the play. I think there's an argument that Chamberlain is actually bad. Like, it hits unflipped Delver and unleveled Hex Drinker. Okay, this hand's great. But not a whole lot else. Okay. I don't know if they're playing Stifle or not. There's a lot of options here. So that's Port Vial as an option. If they daze it, that's fine. Read on Relic. I don't think I want to read on Relic. I think Relic's one of my better cards. I think Relic is better than the second Vial. Yeah. I liked it when Marcelo did it. I don't think it's correct here. I could also just fetch pass. Like I like that less though. If they go land pass, then I go Port Relic and Port Vial. They forced, it was gonna get forced, and if they resolved, cool. This could mean a braid, but then we have a second Vial, so and we can protect the second Vial from force, which is really strong. Okay. Depending on what happens here, I might just port them instead of playing Shuffle. Oh. That's a yikes. Fucking yikes. Needle and Delver is a little toxic. Alright, so we gotta find our Critter Maker. Got 2 of them. Expert's alright. I don't know if I play the Relic yet, though. I think porting them could be good. Might just lock them. Porting them also makes it harder for them to hold up Stifle for my next fetch land. You know what I mean? Brainstorm lot? Alright. Good. And not fetch yet, because if they have Stifle, like they obviously don't have another land, so gonna bolt this lackey or they're gonna die. If they go like Goif, then we can play a relic. Oh, no, they don't have a land, so if they go Delver, I'll blast it. Also, if they're trying to stifle the lackey, we can blast the stifle, and that'll be like a pretty big blowout. Alright, there's bolt. It's funny deck. Oh fuck, Spawn. Oh. And I think I have to get Badlands here. 5 days, yeah, it kind of sucks. Right? I just want to draw waste on my own. No shot. Land for needed days would be insane. Cavern would be. Don't want to mess around. Pump mana into it. It's too risky. I think I'm taking up this file to 5 because if I draw Crater Maker, I just want to put in the Muxus immediately. So what I want to draw from here is like Lackeys and Skirks are good. War Marshals are decent. Lands. Cavern, utility lands. Caverns, ports, or wastes are all good. Most of the deck is live. Game Roller would be kind of. Also pitched a Borrower, which is cool. Also just notable that they left in Fawn in the first place. Makes bringing in Blood Moon less appealing. I might still do it, but it's riskier. Gem Palm would be insane. Cavern. Alright, we can take a turn off of Relicking. They like abrade the relic, it's like kinda sad, but if they abrade the relic, then Sling Gang I tap with. Now, if they have like rough tumble after flipping Delver, then I'm kind of sad, but... Okay, no Delver flip, cool. All right, now Chain Whirler is insane. Oh my god, Chain Whirler is like unreal good now. Skirk's also really good here. Trader Maker is also really not bad. Chain Whirler is in the deck still. What about Modern? Yes. Am I a fan of it? No. Yeah, this is a tough question of do I waste them? I think I do. I could pop the Relic to see. I'm going to pop it and try to find Chain Whirler, actually. Okay. It's 8. Did I bring in Caracas? I did not. It's unfortunate that the Muxus is telegraphed, but... Crater Maker is still a really good draw. Land. Safe. All right, I think we got him. As long as this Muxus doesn't brick. Not the best. Might even say really bad. Brainstorm. Saving Blast for Delver here. Yeah, it is a bit funny. No matrons, no ringleaders this deep into the deck. 40 cards in. No matrons, no ringleaders. Gonna waste them off red. Yikes. Thanks, Max. All right. All right. Well, I doubt they kept a Daze in their hand, so I'm not gonna play around Daze. So let's... Go to 11. We do kind of have him in the abyss. Like, the nice thing about Muxus against Rug Delver in particular is that you got a Muxus and some other stuff. You can force them into the abyss pretty easily. 9 power Muxus. Alright. Oh, they fetched a Girly Boy. That's smart. So now we'll waste him off double green. Our deck is mostly live. We bottomed more vials. Be a 4/4, but that doesn't really matter. All of our removal still kills it, except Crater Maker. Chain Whirler still strong draw. We've still got our Pashlik Mons, which is no attacks. Matron, Ringleader. Even another Pyroblast is fine. Bottom. More Mana Denials, okay. Not to it, just want spells. Not bad. Heck with all. I guess I am at 11. And they're forced to block a Delver. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. French. Okay. Yeah, now they're dead. Nice. Our mediocre Muxus still got there because it's a fucking 10-10. There's Matron. All right. That's 4-1, 5-0. It's quite a win streak with this list. Just lost to this like unwinnable matchup. But that's 9-1, right? Yeah, this list is great. Big Meaty Claws, thanks for the follow. That's a great name. Damn, I got a lot of QPs. There's another showcase coming up, right? Another PTQ? Super qualifier, whatever you want to call it. Alright, we're a chest stream. Everyone knows it. Scepter of Fugue. I actually love this card. Okay. Yeah, quite a play point bank. Godsire. Nice meme. All right, Force Negation. Outlight Caster. D&T sideboard special tech for Shadow. Clever Impersonator, Reflection, Aura. That's cool art. All right, last jest. What do we got? Ren 6, Force Negation. Stalking Vengeance. All right. Bricks on the chest. That's okay, though. If anyone wants to buy tickets from me, be happy to sell tickets at $0.9. All right. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Snoop, that game one, Snoop was so good. It gave us the Sling Gang on top of the deck to, like, we wouldn't have been able to beat the Days, which is really funny. I missed 2 points of damage. Fortunately, did not come back to bite me. Yeah. I'm working on the Patreon cyber guide for this exact list. I think this exact list is really good. I think it's really, really good. I'm done with all the combo decks. I'm working on the fair blue decks right now, which is going to take the longest. I'm hoping to have it out in the next 5 days. I'm aiming for the 20th is my release date hope. Yeah, Snoop generated value. Why Snoop in the deck without the combo line? Because I don't want the slots to fit in X number of Boggart Harbingers, which is a really terrible magic card, and then Kiki Jiki, which is just like really high variance. So I think the Snoop does this important thing where with Snoop you can demand removal on turn 2. Like all your other 2-drops, like Pile Driver, you have to eventually kill it, or at least block it with a non-blue blocker, but you don't have to do that on turn 2 unless there's like, you know, Lackey War Chief shenanigans going on. So this means that Goblins now has like, and this is what I was initially excited about with Snoop when it was first spoiled, and it didn't work that way in the old format, but it works now, where you force removal on turn 1, force removal on turn 2, force removal on turn 3, you know, and like I think that's valuable in a lot of matchups, and also just, but you can exploit that by also playing cards that are actively good against removal. Like someone's like, okay, I got to keep a hand that has Lightning Bolt because they're playing Goblin Lackey, and then you play Vial. You know, they're like, okay, I need a hand that answers Snoop, and you play Mog War Marshal, and it makes Lightning Bolt look really stupid. And you can like War Marshal into Matron, into Expert Your Guy, into Ringleader. You know, like these are all ETB value things. There's literally no Lightning Bolt targets that are good in that entire setup. And so Goblins having the ability to make spot removal super, super important, but simultaneously really bad, is a really good strength of the deck, I think. And so finding the ways to exploit your opponents in the kinds of hands that they want to keep, because you can present very different kinds of strategies. And that's like the strength and weakness of Goblins as a deck, is just like you can do so many things, but you can also end up tripping over yourself. But I think this version of it, you know, the mana issue has been diminished. You know, we've a little less greedy. You know, we've got 17 red sources, which is the most I've run in any list. You know, I think it says something, the list that got 9th in the showcase, that had 19 red sources. 19. I mean, it was only playing 2 Wastelands, 0 ports, and like 1 Volrath Stronghold. So it was really, like as the pilot said, they're coming from a modern perspective. And they're just playing Wastelands as like a couple utility lands But like, I don't think you can get away with that. I still think Wasteland and Port are really, really, really strong. But you know, I like that. What can I say? The overall approach of just adding more red sources. Thought in 2 Badlands versus 3. I think 2 is perfectly fine in this list. I don't think you need 3. With only 4 black cards in the entire deck, you don't need to expose yourself to Wasteland that much. And you get like 5 basics is so good. You're better against back to basics. You're better, like, you got what, effectively 11 basics against back to basics, which is awesome. You know, and if you get 5 mountains in play, you can cast anything in your deck for the most part. You know, so back to basics is less crushing if you in the long game. Like, obviously, if you have to, like, if you draw like, you know, mountain, cavern, port, waste, then that back to basics is still really good. But if you get your second mountain, the game slows down. You know, you can get if you get all your mountains in play, then you can function basically totally fine. You're better against like stuff like Ghost Quarter locks. You're better against Stifle to some extent because you have a higher chance of leading on a basic, you know. And I think we really want to. Yeah, I think the 2 to 3 expert split is actually the difference between the third Badlands and the second Badlands. I think that's actually the thing, because this list doesn't, like, when you're playing 3 or 4 experts, you need to have black on turn 2 or 3. This list doesn't need that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Karsten agrees with my numbers. Well, like, Legacy Mana Bases are so wacky. It's like, you have to consider, like, are you getting wastelanded? But this deck also has, like, all the 1-drops are sources of mana. Right? So, they're pseudo mana. Not sure about Mono Needle over Second Moon or Second Mindbreak Trap. Consider this. The best matchups for Mindbreak Trap are Tess, Oops All Spells. It's not even that good against Oops All Spells, to be honest. And Ant, Mono Blue Echo to some extent. Needle is also good in all of those matchups because Tess and Ant have Wish Claw, which is critical to their strategy. Mono Blue Echo is playing Karn and Narset. You want to Needle those. And another deck I said. Oops. Oh, yeah, Oops. Half the time, Needle on Under City Informer wins the game, and they can play around Mindbreak Trap. Keep that in mind. And Second Moon, with 3 Red Elemental Blasts and 2 Relics, the number, like, there aren't that many matchups where you want 2 Blood Moons, and most of those matchups you want a Needle, because they're usually like the land stacks, right? And you want you want Needle for like Thespian Stage and like would I rather have 2 moons or a moon and a Needle versus like Turbo Depths? I think I would rather have 1-1 split, because you can keep a hand of like Needle Moon against Depths pretty happily, but Double Moon is like really slow. Blood Moon's a really slow card against Depths in particular. And also, like, Needle's nice in like a lot of niche matchups, or not niche matchups, but just like it's very high utility. So you play against Stoneblade, it's nice to have 1 Needle in your deck. If you play against Death and Taxes, it's really nice to have 1 Needle in your deck. If you play against, that's a good example. Saying Pox is cheating, but yeah, like Doomsday or not Doomsday, lands, yeah. Elves is a good example. Having 1 Needle for Elves is quite nice. Am I bringing in all the Rebs all the time? Sometimes two. So like against some Delver decks I'll bring in 2, and some against Bring 3. Yeah, I like Needle against Urza. Honestly, you can board in so many cards versus that deck from Goblins. Board in 10 cards. And they're all really good except Tarfire, but Tarfire, since they're playing Hull Breacher now, and it kills Emery, so it's fine. Hey Lynn. We always finished a 4-1, so 5-0, 4-1. I only played 3 matches today, but those were very stressful matches, so I don't know. Like 2 hours for 3 matches. Plus a lot of talking. Any other questions? I think I'm really finding my strategy of like only playing a couple of matches when I play at once, like not doing marathons, has just done wonders for win rate. Like I think whether it's just me or it's the deck or a combination of both, but doing a whole bunch of matches in one day, my win rate drops off really quickly. Which is bad for playing in the larger events, but the larger events you have more time to like relax in between rounds for the most part, unless your games go really long. So you're playing your first event since 2019. Wow. Jeez. Oh man. Oh, I wanted to say I should post the link. Let me post the link. My matches from the Legacy Pit are up on YouTube now. Those are really good. First of all, it's me getting to use my paper stuff, which I'm really happy about because I didn't get to use it for like literally a year. A lot of those games were just like very good. Helps that I went 7-3, and I was pretty happy with that. But there's all these videos got posted on YouTube, and here's the playlist. If you want to watch the matches I did for the Legacy Pit, check out that link, and the first 10 or so things on that playlist are my matches. Unmatched Miles for tilting, yeah. Yeah, my 3 Darksteel vials, 1 Masterpiece vial. I mean, I'm not shelling out the cash to do all Masterpiece vials, and I own 1 Masterpiece vial, and I'm not gonna not play it, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want from me? Supposed to pick my deck on Twitter? I think I have, but it's been a while, so sure. Yeah, I do have I have extremely mismatched lackeys. I think that's actually hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping for yeah, Old Border Vial would have been so good. I actually would have bought that, I'm pretty sure. I know how expensive they were, but yeah, I have the From the Vault lackeys signed. I have 2 of these and then 2 regular Urza's lackeys. The thing is, I bought 2 more of these, and they sent them to my this was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I bought them, and they sent to my parents' house, and either they never arrived or they got thrown out by accident. My parents aren't normally the type of people to do that by like make that mistake, but it was either never delivered or it got thrown out, and I just never bothered to get them again. And so I met Chris Muller at SCGCon and got him to sign 2 of the lackeys that I had, and some other cards too. Like I have his promo still Spellstar sprites; those are nice. And he signed my Siege Gang, R.I.P. Siege Gang. don't know. I think my deck is pretty in a unique way. I guess, all right. I am not going to play more matches, but some of the matches in that last 5-0 were like really sick. Zaki's can't be further. Yeah, they're surprisingly not too bad. I'm gonna look at these matches real quick because I don't want to leave yet, but I also don't want to play more. But do you guys like these replay overviews that I do? I think they're informative. I think they help teach the deck better than actually playing does. Okay. So this was round 1. I mulliganed this. This hand's, if this Muxus or the Sling Gang was like any other like more castable spell, I think it's better. It's like a keep, but decided not to. And then I got this unplayable 6, and then this pretty rancid 5. So I mulliganed to 4, and then I think I put back. I think I just go for, yeah. And then all right. What is the worst thing other than a combo deck that can happen here? what is like the weirdest thing that's really bad for me? I hope someone gets it. It involves a bit of an old staple. All right, that got me. That was pretty good. Anyone? Dark Blast? You're close. You're in the right color. Dark Blast is a surprisingly good guess. Innocent Blood also on the right track. Dark Plague Engineer also on the right track. Half of that's correct. Wasteland got shot. All right, y'all getting pretty close. Stark Ritual, Liliana the Veil. Oh, so close, Anubis. Yeah. Logan to 4, Dark Ritual, Liliana. The funny thing is this game is like somehow almost close. Yeah, this is Dead Guy Ale. My opponent discards Lingering Soul, so Liliana plays Stoneforge Mystic. So, Voice in the Scrubland, hope they don't have a white source. Down tick. Top deck Expert's about as good as it gets. But then they draw land, and I cannot be sort of Fire Nice. Anyway, that's just funny. Alright, so on the play for game 2 here, I shaved a Lackey, a Prospector, 2 Pile Drivers, and a Sling Gang. I brought in Pyrokinesis, Pithing Needle, and Trashmaster, and Tarfire. Kept this hand. Longboard Marshal and Jump Home's insane. You don't want to mulligan against Dead Guy. You know, if you get Wastelanded on, you got a lot of turns to draw lands, basically what I'm saying. Plus, Pyrokinesis is just like really insane against Dead Guy. The turn Thoughtseize takes the Matron, which is understandable. They revoke her Aether Vial, which I thought didn't make any sense. I don't know why they didn't name the Gem Palm that they knew was in my hand, but maybe they're just scared of Vial coming down. I guess they figure the Pyrokinesis is going to kill the Revoker eventually. So I Wastelanded the Scrubland there, in case they instead of porting because of Wow. They also could have not known that. That is also true. Yeah, Wasteland was maybe ambitious. Could have just ported. Because now if I draw land, I can't cast Ringleader, so. You have the land. I drew the vial, yeah. So you have the plow. I didn't go for it because I just like, they definitely have something. They are mana screwed. Land here. Just slow them down as much as possible. You go to Sophie. Would love to draw land here, but I do not. So I cycle Gem Palm on Stoneforge to try to hit land to port them. I had another Ringleader, which is like, eh. The Inquisition, amusingly, they only have one target. I think I draw the land here though, and I draw War Chief. Okay. War Chief's actually just like a really good draw. Like they can equip. Play Liliana, which like literally does nothing. And then they're early dead to Pyrokinesis. Bing, bada boom. Fairly straightforward game. Not too much to say about that one. I think this I word any differently on the draw. I cut one more Lackey. I kept in one more Skirk. So like Lackey and Skirk often swap places on the play and draw. Because Skirk is better when you're behind, Lackey's better when you're ahead. Yeah, pretty reasonable keep here. You just really hope you don't get Plague Engineered. Okay, so them... The fact they haven't done anything, especially the fact that this Lackey hits, screams that they have either Toxic Deluge or Plague Engineer in the hand, right? Because there's no way they would keep a hand that does literally nothing. So, given that I drew the Wasteland, I go for that Muxus here. This Muxus is actually like kind of bad. I think there's somewhat of an argument to Matron, to put in Matron, get Trash Master and put in Trash Master. It's the worst against Deluge. You could also get Patch like Mullins if you want to beat Deluge. Yeah, I hit a solo Munitions Expert and bottom Pyrokinesis, Vial, Land. So that was big time bummer. I think I get Snoop. Because I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get Wrathed, I want to at least have I have a fetch, so like the Snoop is like pretty likely to give me some value. It seems they did not hit their land. Wrath me. So if they did have the Engineer, then I get look off the top of my library, and if it's a Expert, awkwardly not a Jump Palm, but if it's a Expert or Crater Maker or Tarfire, I kill the Engineer for free basically, and attack for a lot. So they're still like in pretty bad shape. All right. I think my opponent, I didn't know what they were on for sure, but I thought they were on some sort of depth deck. Hands, as far as not having wastelands or ports, not bad. So this just looks like lands. Let's play my Crater Man. Planning on attacking for 2, then blowing up Mox Diamond. So Flagstones tells me that this is Greenlight Reclaimer. They get Sylvan Safekeeper, which is interesting. Which makes me think they're going to try to combo me really quickly. War Marshal's kind of nice, given that I've got... what's his face? Okay, so I popped the Mox Diamond there just because I think this deck has not a ton of green sources. And I can, between these two cards, like, I've already got enough removal. I think Megaloboard Cavern, they did not. Yeah, and I upkeep Expert, the Sylvan Safekeeper. I'll want to Violin the War Marshal. And then jump on their next thing. And part of my thinking there was, yeah, Knight is exactly... or no. Not correct. Oh yeah, if they didn't have a fetch land, then the Knight would have been small enough to kill with the Gem Palm. But now I'm in a situation where I do need to draw Goblin here. Can't afford to pay Echo there because I need to Alright, so I don't have a Goblin to cleanly kill us, but this is a free attack, right? And if they block, they lose their Knight. I think they do, yeah, because they're kind of low, you know, with the library. They don't want to take damage free. Chain Motor is actually quite a nice draw because it clocks really fast. Also notable, I don't want to crack this fetch land as much as possible because every point of life matters. So I go for the depths. Violin my Whirler. Any Goblin is fine, honestly. Like, Lackey's like the worst Goblin, honestly, but it's a Goblin. There's a consideration to not attack there, to try to keep the Chain Whirler to actually connect for damage, but that's really bad against a blocker, so I thought I needed to get my 2 damage in. Plus I was gonna have to stack stuff anyway. So now I'm just in situations like, okay, I have to Fade Plow. And they just have another Knight. Fortunately, does not matter. Go to 21. And have 1 lethal. Chain attacking is the same as sack and get 2 in. Three. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, because I have to, yeah. Okay. Ask me is smart. I didn't actually do the math on that. It just kind of felt, that's just my intuition there. All right, so this is a tough matchup. So boarded out, awkwardly board out 2 lackeys and a Moxus. Like on the draw, it's so hard to get your stuff connected. Like Jump Home is like too small to kill their stuff. I didn't board in. I boarded 1 Surgical to try to cheese them at the depths, and I didn't board in the Relics. I think Relic is just like not the battle you want to be fighting. Like, yeah, it shrinks the Reclaimer and it shrinks Knight, but if they're untapping with those creatures, then they're 20/20ing you, and the Relic doesn't matter. So that's my thinking. I don't remember if I keep this or not. I don't think I do, just because you lose really hard to Wasteland. I'm not going to Pithing Needle Wasteland. Yeah. That either, yeah. So just like these hands are, I'm really just looking for a good 1-drop, and just didn't have any of them. And Bottom Matron's painful, but I could have Wastelanded the Arbor there, but I think that's not a real strategy. I just had a pretty fast. It's awkward that we like won a hand with Lackey, but also we sided out 2 lackeys, but obviously Lackey wouldn't do anything here. I don't know why I would the Vial. Oh, trying to get them to attack into Expert was my thinking. Because I have to kill the Sylvan Safekeeper. For this Crocus to do anything. So I have one more turn. Because if they waste, I can port. But don't really have outs here. Like, I don't have a third red source to chain Weller into Caracas. Like, it's just not there's nothing you can do there. I mean, we did have a pretty weak mulligan to 5. This is quite a good 7. It's quite strong. The answer for the turn 1 Reclaimer, a Vial, and a Wasteland, and some pressure. My opponent goes to 5 as well, so feeling pretty good. Turn 1 Giver of Runes is like fine. Draw Lackey too. That's a tough Wasteland. So let's talk about the pros and cons there. There's the fact that they mulligan to 5 makes me want to Wasteland them like a lot. The fact that they have a Giver means that I want to stop them from going Green Sun Zenith into Elvish Reclaimer. So it reduces, like, effectively they have like 8 Reclaimers, and it reduces the numbers from 8 to 4. Yeah, we're on the play. We got the Vial ticking up. I just don't want them to ramp. And also, Wastelanding them later could be difficult if they have crop rotation. So this could be like one of my few opportunities to Wasteland them and not get blown out's the wrong word, but like efficiently traded with. Like, you don't want to trade the Wasteland into the crop rotation. Sometimes it's a blowout. Also, like, they just have a lot of colorless lands in their deck. You know, they've got however many depths and then stages and then wastelands. So hitting a color, Savannah, no less, their best colored source seemed high value to me. I get super punished here by fetch into Reclaimer, and it's now a 3/4. But worth noting, if we draw Expert here, we can kill the Reclaimer. Slinging of all the non-expert draws there is pretty good. Some more givers. I think I pay Echo here. Yeah, because I want this extra point off of Sling Gang. There's Pyrokinesis. Really awkward Pyrokinesis. It's because of the giver. So we're just trying to get into Aristocrats mode. I'm hoping to go like... All right, so steps. So they were short on mana. I think this is what that says. I'm hoping to draw Matron to find Pashlik, because I think Pashlik plus Sling reasonable port is okay. Port probably slows him down a turn. Get stage. Port the stage. Depths, I think. Yeah. All right, so we've got it all Wasteland or Caracas this turn, or a way to kill them in the next 2 turns. Well, we have 2 turns no matter what. 3 turns, actually, because of the Sling Gang. Also at the Theta Plow. Surgical, very bad. Very, very bad. I force the action here. It's going to happen no matter what in this... It doesn't give them the chance to do a different line. You know what I mean? So I start taking up because I think I only have 1 other 4-drop in the deck. It's like, yeah, I have no... It's like the second Sling and no other 4-drops, so Violence 6 is all that matters. Brick. And it's awful. Everything is bad. Can't even attack. But, you know, they don't have a whole lot going on. All right. But now this Safekeeper is terrifying. But paying Echo, paying off there. Gives us an extra Goblin to work with. Opponent could have used Giver there and protected the Reclaimer and attack for 3 more. We'd have to sack a lot more. But then they have 2 creatures tapped. Just this to block. And because I'm a Luxac, I rip Matron, and Matron for Pashley kills them. So we hit our 5. Got like a 6-outer because we could also Luxus. So we got 6 out of 46 to win that game. I don't think anything else does it because Grok is a soft line. I'm trying to think. Other rounds. I don't think so. I think it was literally a 6-outer. 4 matrons. Pashlik. Oh, it's 7. 4 matrons. Pashlik. 2 Muxus. The Muxus could whiff, but it's pretty unlikely to. We just have to find another matron. Pashlik. Yeah, that was a pretty tight game. This match was like honestly insane. Every single match in this 5-0 was 2-1. Obviously, log in here. Now on the play here, I think this is. I am assuming my opponent's on Delver. And I think this is actually an okay hand to keep. Because you've got the Cavern of Souls, you have 2 basics, you have like all your card advantage. And I think this is some of the power of Snoop. You know, you're playing a 2-drop that they have to respect on turn 2. They can't just develop themselves. So they could put back the Sling Gang, yeah. I could see an argument to put back the Ringleader, but if they're playing Stifle, they're going to stifle the Matron, and then you really want the Ringleader. I think is what ends up happening. I'm preserving the fetch land here for the Snoop. So here, they fetch, and they do have the pretty serious punish of Chain Lightning into Wasteland. It's like not that bad. I Wasteland them back because, you know, there's a chance that they off lands because it's Delver. Second Cavern's really nice because now I just fetch out my other basic and then cool. Ponder, no shuffle, hold up a land. I'm like, okay, this is a stifle if I've ever seen one. That's okay because we got our Ringleader. Matron gets stifled. Cool. Play a goof. Fetch. Slam this Ringleader while Stifle is down. Get Matron and War Marshal. That was an excellent Ringleader hit. I do take 4 here because we're going to block with this War Marshal. Draw Muxus, which is like pretty good. I think... Oh, is the replay going to bug out on me? Yeah. I couldn't... I took a while to decide what I wanted to do there. I ended up matroning for Gem Palm. Game actually goes on for like way longer. This game looks over, but it's actually not. Because what happens, I matron for Gem Palm, kill this. Block the Goyf. They wasteland me. And the game drags on for a little while. And I end up getting to 7 lands in play. I play Muxus without Cavern. And then they double daze me. As like the last 2 cards, there was like 2 dazes. And the game ends with me with like a bunch of lands in play, a Skirk Prospector, nothing else. They had a Brazen Borrower attacking, and they're at 2 and I'm at 5. And I attack them down to 1, draw Wasteland, have Wasteland for a red source plus port. and a nether port, and so they only had one green. They would only have one green left, and they concede. And I win the race by literally 1 point of life because I would go to 2, and if I didn't have a way to kill them, I would lose. The single it was a Skirk Prospector attack for lethal with no other board. It was insane. It's really sad this game bugs out in the replay. Game 2 is also pretty close though. So is game 3. All right, so we're on the draw here against Rug Delver. Shaved War Chief. Just kind of just take out like ones of a lot of things. I didn't board in the Blood Moon. I boarded in 3 Blast, 2 Relic. Very reasonable hand. Dodges Stifle on Mana Base completely. Double Cavern's awesome. Wake Sun's good. 1, 2, 3 curve. On it did Mulligan, I think. Yeah. Ponder, no shuffle. I don't play the Cavern out because I don't think there's a realistic world where they force or daze Skirk. And honestly, if they daze Skirk, I'm totally happy. So Goif. Snoop. A War Chief on top. Kind of good to have. So now here's the thing. It's like they got to bolt the Snoop, but they also have to bolt the War Chief. And here's a tough decision of, do you Matron here while they don't have Stifle? Or do you slam War Chief and get really far behind if they go Stifle plus Bolt, or Bolt plus Stifle next turn cycle? And there's some consideration. Do you want the Matron to get stifled because your eventual plan is to Muxus them? How realistic is that? I think I end up going for Matron here. This is a big Goif, and the War Marshal is really good here just because it both time walks the Goif and provides mana for Skirk. And it just fits in the turn really nicely for, you know, Cavern War Chief, Cavern War Marshal, right? There are 2 cards, they have 2, 4, 5 Goifs. Draw Red Blast. So now we have Stifle Insurance. And at this point, I'm like, okay, so here's actually a really interesting question. I can Muxus here around a Stifle. Uncounterably. So unless the last 2 cards are Stifle plus Daze, which I don't think they would keep, given how much mana I have. But there's also the question of, like, do you go War Chief, War Marshal instead of for Muxus next turn? Or do you do it now? I opt to do it now. But I think it's wrong. I was scared of Rough Tumble. But if they're Rough Tumbling me, you know, the Muxus trigger could give me stuff that's not that relevant. You know, like Pashlik Mons helps against Rough Tumble. Sling Gang helps against Rough Tumble. An Expert on a Goif would be really good. So it's kind of a toss-up there. But the Muxus survives, right? It's a pretty big deal. But I ended up going for the Muxus, which I'm not certain is actually correct. Alright, so play Muxus. They do have the Stifle. Sack Skirk. Pay first. Pop the Stifle, and then I only get a Ringleader. It only hits Sling Gang. And now the game is dicey. Like, Sling Gang's good, but now I have to chump with a Ringleader. They double Brainstorm. I go to 7. Yeah, it's like, it cost us a lot of board state to Muxus there, right? Well, Skirk, sadly. All right, so here was another thing. It's like, do you play... I wanted to play the Sling Gang around a bolt because I don't want to get the Sling Gang bolted. This ends up being really bad against another Stifle because I can't go Sling Gang plus Skirk. Yeah, stifling the ETB is like really brutal for me. I do still attack because I'm not jumping with Muxus. So block sack. Like we still are not that far from winning the race, right? We hit them for 6. But we do have to double block. So we have to draw like Log War Marshal, Sling Gang, a Ringleader, draw a Relic, which would be really good, but the last card was one of the last cards was Force plus Days. So that game was really close. I think obviously if we hit one more Goblin off our Muxus, I think we win, right? Because then we don't have to chump block with a Ringleader, which would have attacked. We don't have to chump block with Sling Gang, which would have killed them. So I do think we like just literally any one more Goblin hitting off that Muxus wins us the game. So it's hard to say that line was wrong, but I think it was higher risk than I realized in the moment, because I was thinking, okay, this turn I get to beat Stifle. And I think I was also thinking this is a turn where they can't have Stifle plus Force. But there is also something to be said if I play the War Chief there. I can cast the Muxus next turn, just sacking a token, and then have a ton of red mana available, and swing with the Muxus on the turn that I put into play. So that would have worked out a lot better, obviously. Yeah, that Force was really good. All right, game 3. So on the play, I decided out one Prospector, Whirler. So I decided out Creator Maker because I think against Rug Delver, Creator Maker doesn't line up that well against their threats, and the only like extra cards that Creator Maker could hit would be a Cyborg Pith Needle, which we saw today, but I don't normally see, or like a Torpor Orb, which would be devastating. I would really want the Creator Maker. Other than like it has some utility of going like block Goyf, kill Delver, but that's like kind of bad versus Stifle. So I thought I could shave a Creator Maker. I also shaved Chain Whirler because they seem to be on Goyfs, and I'm assuming Uros, so I didn't think Whirler was going to be that good. I left in both Pile Drivers. Sounds insane. Like, obviously, we got Blast, Double Vial, Lackey, Pashlik's nice in the long run. Force the Vial, totally fine. Looking at replays from my previous league, which is a 5-0, and then we 4-1'd today. Ponder, no shuffling. No, they did shuffle. And right now, I'm just Snoop's a good draw too. I'm hoping like, oh my god, please force the second Vial, and then I get the Blast Blowout, and they do have double Force. Force Pitch Days. Now their Vial resolves. Like, that is such a good exchange. And look at this Wasteland not doing anything. This double basics. Play Snoop here. My thinking was that they didn't have Daze last turn. Because they didn't Daze the Vial after or they didn't Daze the Reb. So I thought that was the read there. But they drew the Daze off the Brainstorm. But, this is like not that bad. This means they don't have red mana up this turn. Draw Port. Taking my trade. With enough Colossus is fine. I mean, I don't really care about Colossus, but yeah, that sneak and show match on the pit was really funny. Oh yeah, my opponent my opponent just makes a mistake not wasting in end step. They wasteland main phase, and that lets me play my Pashlik Mons for free here. And that actually ends up mattering because I get an extra 3-drop this way. And I'm just like, I don't want to take any damage. Just jump home, find lands, Stelver, Muxus. All right. Ringleader whiffs. Play Snoop. Yeah, whiff on Vile, Mountain, Relic, Blast. So this is the cost of sideboarding. You know, these could be 2 goblins right here. But Cavern on top is really nice insurance. So they play an Uro and concede because they're taking 7. And they obviously don't have enough lands for Uro. Like, this is the thing with Uro Delver, you know, I didn't even wasteland them. They wastelanded me once. Like this, like I know Uro is like really broken as a card, but like it is not comfy to cast. So yeah, we just have a 2-turn clock on them. Plus we can draw a Cavern for turn, have a Goblin on top of our deck, cast it. Holy shit, carry. Tier 1 for 13 months. Let's go, dude. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. All right. Yeah, that game was sick. Game 3 was like not that close, but I thought the double vial, both getting forced and blast for the force. Yeah, I was thinking about Wasteland Surgical Chop as like a thing people should do against Delver now. I know some people playing Taiga to avoid that, but you still can't escape Uro if you know, like you can play your Goyfs though, which is pretty good. Or Mandrels. All right. I saw this person playing in Strifo earlier that night on Delver, so that informed my decision. I mean, all right, this game is really funny actually. It's 1 lander, triple vial on the draw. Obviously, you know, snap keep. Obviously, snap keep. Turn on Delver, okay. Draw land. Get a fetch around Stifle. So Val gets dazed. Cool. It's fine. I've got 2 more, right? Got 2 more. No flip on Delver. Brainstorm. Kind of at a weird time. Draw a 4th vial. Force pitch daze. Okay. All right. Sure. How about another vial? They have a 3rd daze. So it's really sad that, like, if I didn't draw 4 vials, they would have been able to counter every single 1 mana spell I cast on turn 2, turn 1 and 2. That is just ridiculous. And they flip the Delver to Brainstorm, which makes sense. Now we're in an okay spot. I'm not respecting days for like the rest of the game because there's 3 of them gone. I think I don't know. Maybe them attacking is like a little dicey, but I understand why they did it. But I get to trade with the Pyromancer this way. We know the Delver is going to die to the Crater Maker in a turn. Brainstorm. Another Delver. Like, okay, I am in danger. And I Crater Maker now. I could Matron for Expert there. But I thought this this Matron might have to get either Chain Whirler if they play a Pyromancer and this Delver doesn't flip, or it might have to get Sling Gang to stabilize me. Delver doesn't flip, they play a Sprite Dragon. So again, not respecting days in any way, shape, or form. It's the Chain Whirler on him. And now we're just like, can't really lose. Yeah. Lackey jump on matron. Over. So we beat the triple days force turn one Delver on the play. Pretty sick, gotta say. That feels good. Only took 4 Aether Vials. Though it's amusing though, because like some of our other draws don't care about that at all. Because if we just go like Cavern Lackey, like a double Cavern draw would just like obliterate them, but so it goes. Obviously Mulligan, this hand's pretty good. I gotta decide to put back Matron here, which is like scary to do for sure. But Chainwhirler is really good against Pyromancers. I want the Snoop because it's cheaper. Jarvis with the raid. Jarvis, welcome, folks. We're just looking at some matchups matches I played earlier. I went 4-1 today on the stream, facing some tough matchups. And now we're just looking at some really close matches I had the other day that I want to look at and see if I made the right plays, see if we can observe anything. Oh, I put back the land, which is like, this is I think I probably should have put back the matron, and kept my lands. If this file gets countered, it's like, all right, file resolves, but I think they have a braid here. Spike Dragon, okay. Draw Ringleader. I'm just like, oh my god, please. Play my Snoop. Blackie's on top. Awkward. I could have experted that, but like that just seems too just get giga punished. 10,000% giga punished. Now we don't have a third land. Yeah, I did stifle check with the vial. It's true. Yeah, so obviously this matron being a third land would have been a lot better. What bad lands? They had a Force of Will the whole time anyway, so like, not sure it really matters. And I don't attack with Lackey because I was like, okay, maybe this Delver doesn't flip and then I can Chainwhirler. But now I'm just on too fast a clock. I could take 6 and then take 6. Like, I guess theoretically this is a early scoop. I could draw Pyroblast into Pyrokinesis. Delver doesn't flip. Anyway. Oh, that was game 2. Whoops. 3. All right, so let's see. Sideboarding. Kind of just did weird stuff. I shaved a Ringleader because they're so tempo oriented, it seemed like. I shaved a Muxus, cut the both War Chiefs, shaved a Pile Driver and a Snoop. This is kind of a matchup where you want like the token generation stuff. You don't want a lot of 1-for-1 2-mana creatures. Pile Driver's okay, Snoop's okay, but like you also get tempoed out. It's pretty reasonable, right? Power Fire for a turn 1 threat into Snoop into Matron. Double Caverns and Tower Fire the Delver. I don't care if they daze it, means they're not playing a turn 2 threat, or rather a 2-mana threat. Black on top is okay. Plus Wasteland, Delver things. Forked Bolt, but don't have another land. Don't have Pyrokinesis, so not dying anytime soon. But neither of us have lands. They brainstorm, find their land, Delver. I'm like, oh my god, please draw Munitions Expert. Alright, so I fetch bad lands here, because if they were to wasteland me, they're going to wasteland the cavern anyway. I'm not going to play around a third wasteland down the line. So this might want to get Munitions Expert, potentially. Get jump on. Oh, this is the game I do like the Giga Greed thing. It's Pyromancer. So this is the safe line's just Pyrokinesis and then Play Sling Gang, right? But I felt like I could maybe milk more value of the Pyrokinesis, and as long as the Pyrokinesis like mostly checks the easy. So I think it's a free attack here because if they cast a spell to make a token, then I can freely Pyrokinesis because I know they don't force. So play Sling Gang, committing to not Pyrokinesis this turn. They have a Bolt. Sling Gang. And now I'm just like, okay, just gonna wait, not play around, or play around days. They hit Brainstorm, which is annoying. And I draw Ringleader. So, this is where I do the really greedy thing. So I've just brainstormed. I still think Daze is a possibility, you know? Like, there are definitely ways Daze could be live here of, like, double 2-drop. So they have 2 cards. Brainstorm's been used. So the thing is, I really don't want to pitch my Jump Bomb Incinerator. I just really don't want to do that. With the second Sling Gang in hand, I feel like, okay, I'm probably not going to die. I'm at 15. I can clear a lot of this. I don't want to force pit. I don't want to Pyrokinesis pitch Jump Bomb because if they kept Force of Will blue card, which would be weird for them to do unless they're specifically scared of Pyrokinesis, which is reasonable. Like, people know Pyrokinesis exists. It's a fairly common card in this matchup. So if they play this matchup, then Pyrokinesis could be on their radar. And be like, okay, Pyrokinesis is the card that punishes me the most, so I'm gonna keep Force of Will blue card with my Brainstorm. I attack for 1, which is kind of weird. And I just pass. That may bolt me. Cycle Jump Palm on Delver, because I'm really trying to hit another red card. And this is the greed thing. Because if I don't hit a red card, pitching this Ringleader really sucks. So if they find like a Blazing Volley or like Electricity, and we both kind of have nothing. Just like this tap. I could cycle into Munitions Expert. That's why I tap like this. They bolt me again. All right, so the last 2 cards were Bolt Bolt. I draw land. Do you Pyrokinesis? You leave them with 1 token. Or do you wait to draw cards off Ringleader that you don't care about? So you can pitch them the Pyrokinesis. Like, obviously the Ringleader could draw you something really good. You could also just top deck Chain Whirler and then you don't have the Pyrokinesis anymore. You save the Pyrokinesis for Sprite Dragon. I'm a greedy bastard, so I did not. And then they go Cantrip. 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 Is pretty sad. So now I'm like giving 3/1/1s for no reason. Feels pretty bad. And I top deck this is the really feels bad. Is like I top deck a second Ringleader. Oh, there's also the fact that I only have 2 Ringleaders in my deck, right? Right? Yeah. So I pitch 1, I only got 1 left. Of course I top deck the last one. So it's like, okay. Ultra punished. Ultra punished. So hit a lackey and a matron. I can use to pitch lackey. Attack for 1. Hold back the rest. So this game is a lot closer than it really ought to be, because I got a lot of damage off these elementals. 5. They played Delver. I think I go for Chain Whirler here. If they had Stifle into Flip Delver, I would die, but you know. Or no, I go to 1. Play Sling Gang. I'm right. So Sprite into Cantrip, I go to 2. But fortunately, they didn't have enough mana to go any farther than that, and then Sling Gang kills them. Game was so much closer than it had to be. But I didn't know I had a second ringleader on top of my deck, so I don't think my decision was like absolutely rancid. It was just like very, very risky. It's like so risky. I don't know. Was gem palming too bad? Was gem palming too the risk, or was not pyrokinesising the risk? I'm not really sure. I just wanted all my cards. That was close. Pyro takes 2 turns to get Sprite or Pyro, number 2 online. Okay. Yeah. Kinda. I don't know if they. So they had no cards. Okay, they had no cards in hand. Once they double bolted. So yes. Yeah, that is also a good point. They probably don't go cantrip. I don't know if that's good or bad for me though, in the long run. Like if their cantrips are looking for air and they find air. I mean the air generates 1/1, but like how good is a 1/1 eventually? I took like what? Like 5 off those elemental tokens, I think. I don't know. I felt relatively okay with the second slinging. I mean, like in that last, like there was no way for me to die because they had used all of their bolts. It was literally all four bolts. I think. I think it was I think it was all 4 bolts, and so they had like 2 fork bolts probably left. Maybe chain lightning. Fork bolt was kind of overtaken chain lightning though. All right. And this was the last round for the 5-0. Play. Appreciate that, Hellkin. Why isn't Price Progress getting play? That's... Maybe it's just that, like, Blue-Red Delver, as it currently exists, has to fetch out Volk too often. Maybe that's part of it. Like, I don't see them have, like, Island Mountain in play that often. Maybe they're just too color intensive. Like, I'm not seeing a lot of Swift Spears. And, like, the one deck that's playing Swift Spear is splashing green for Veil and Clothis, like, Book's list. Don't really want to play Price in your 3-color deck. Price of Progress and Punishing Maverick. They'll never see it coming. The combo of Price you, Activate Grove, give you life. Very good. Alright, so this is like one of those Goblins hands that's like really bad if your Vow gets forced, but like... Okay, it's not that bad, because if your Vow gets forced, you play your Pile Driver, hope to rip a land in the next 2 draw steps. Curve War Chief into Ringleader. Not the end of the world, but it's not a great hand. Vow resolves because I'm lucky like that. I forget what this matchup is. Oh, it's Delver again, right? Tap code over for Chasm. Nice. Draw Matron. I slam Pile Driver here because if I draw a Cavern, I'm going to want a Matron for Expert when this Val gets to 2 anyway. And if they daze this, that is so very fine with me. Don't flip a Delver, which is cool. Double Delver. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I get, like, speed run. Draw another Vial, which is, like, giga bad. I don't attack, just, you know, they didn't set up the Delvers. The Delvers could whiff, be taking 2 damage for free, but then they flip both Delvers to force. Attack me for a million. Brazen Bar my Vial. Game is over. That is just a very aggressive Delver hand. And I didn't draw my lands, right? But blind flip to force is like... And borrow the Vial. Yeah, that was a fast one. Sometimes you get Delvered. It's the way... It's how it do. Alright, so we saw a Terramander, so we know they're playing like a fast version. So... War Chief's out, Muxus out, Snoop, 1 Snoop out, 1 Ringleader out, 1 Lackey out. I know Lackey out on the play is weird compared to Prospector, but I think like in the games where you're losing, Prospector is the card that will save you more than a Lackey. Usually. Sounds great. Needs a black source eventually if the Vial doesn't resolve, but alright, 5 resolve. Pog. So this tells me they're on Prowess. And the Prowess lists don't play Wasteland. They play 16 lands, 0 Wastelands. So that totally changes how you can sequence things. So here I port them and because I don't want to get abraded or borrowed, so instead of playing this Vial. Cantrips, like total opposite of the hand they had last game. Got a Matron, which is awesome. They don't play Uro. They play... I guess this list is not playing Swift Spear. They're playing Terramander. I port green here, because... Why? Ace, they're playing Tarmogoyf. Delver, no land. Thank you. Den Guide. Alright, so here's Hooting Mandrill's actually Hooting Mandrill's actually very, very, very good reason. Here I get to do the Vial thing. I want to get this Pile Driver into play. Start hitting them for bunches. So upkeep, Vial on the Expert. Because this Expert's not getting into play any other time if this Vial's sticking up because they don't have black source. Like it would take, I guess it would take an additional turn, so it wouldn't be that bad. But they scoop here. I mean, honestly, understandable. You know, they're getting ported. I have double Vial. I have a board. What the hell are they gonna do from here? They obviously don't have a land. And game 3 or the 5-0, the draw. I think I just ran it back. Yeah, 3 blasts, 2 pyrokinesis. So this is an interesting keeper mole. If you keep in mind that they most likely don't have Wasteland in their deck. Expert should really not cost 2. Disagree. Expert is perfectly costed at 2. Anyway. Keeper mole. Two keeps, 3 keeps, 4 keeps. Oh, same person saying it. Aggro waste on the draw, no mercy. Wasteland looks pretty bad in this hand, being honest. Alright, I'll not leave you in suspense any longer. Actually, I'm going to this hand. My opponent's playing Prowess, essentially. This hand is really bad against a combination of bolts or also forked bolt. Forked bolt is so good against this hand. And if your 2 1-drops get dealt with, you don't do anything for multiple turns. You do have good mana. You don't know for sure that they're not playing Wasteland. I was pretty sure, but I wasn't 100% sure. Yeah, obviously, I don't have their deck list. So I thought this was too risky to keep. I think they kept 7. And I do keep this because I really don't want to go to 5. This hand's not great by any stretch. It is worse than the last one. But we do at least have a removal spell. So, Island, Preordain. Wasteland's looking kind of silly. Top deck Vial bails me out big time. I do cast it into the Daze. Post board, I think playing around Daze on your Vial against Delver is usually a trap because like I already have a 2-drop I want to play next turn. They have 4 Force and then probably like 2 Borrower, 2 Abrade. So they actually have more answers to, like a lot more answers to Vial than Daze. So getting Vial to trade with Daze is not that bad, especially because Force might be turned off. And you just give them more turns to draw into Force. Plus putting them behind a turn. Like my hand is slow. I kind of need them to Daze to not get run over. So I ponder again. So see, like that Daze trade with my best card, but it means I'm not facing a threat this turn. So draw Crater Maker, it's not bad. Since I drew the second one, I feel alright playing the first one. If they bolt this, I still have removal in my hand. So they Brainstorm, play Delver. Second Cavern is really good. There's a lot of choices here. So you can make sure up an expert. You can Pile Driver plus hold up Crater Maker, or Pile Driver plus Wasteland. You can play second Crater Maker and hold it up, or activate it. There's a lot. You can do tons of combinations. The thing is with... So let me talk about a couple of different lines here. So if you play the Pile Driver and hold up the Crater Maker, it's worse against a Stifle. We haven't seen yet, but it could be in their deck. It's worse against if you activate the Crater Maker, your Pile Driver doesn't actually do anything until a couple of turns later because there's no other Goblin to pump it, right? And if you're in a racing situation, thing is, Pile Driver plus Crater Maker races Delver, so you're not forced into cratering this. I actually forget what I do here. Yeah, I think I go Pile Driver. Yeah, waste my Pile Driver. So this is the best line because they've been cantripping. Their hand is like I think they've cantripped a lot, but like they're not developing. And this keeps them from going nuts, basically. Like they could only do so much with 2 mana. They can't answer both of these. And if they bolt the Crater Maker, then the Pile Driver is like a long-term threat that they'll have to bolt eventually. And the Crater Maker can answer the Delver. Second Crater Maker, rather. And their Delver does not flip. Fork Bolt the Pile Driver. So the Fork Bolt would have fucking obliterated me if I kept. Yeah. It's just like a tempo issue if the Crater Maker gets killed. They have a second Delver. Draw Muxus, which is granted. But, by not popping my Crater Maker, I'm getting in damage, right? Well, I mean, if they kill the Crater Maker with the Fork Bolt, the Pile Driver could kill it eventually. Like a short-term versus long-term thing. So I see if these Delvers flip, and they flip to Daze, which is like okay, because like it sucks that they're flipping, but also Daze is a dead card. and I decide I don't want to take 6 this turn, and they have a... That's kind of awkward. So I had to use my mana that turn, so I think that was going to happen no matter what. Anyway. So we know the card at hand is Daze, 2 others. They've got a Delver, I got this Matron coming up. So I think the 2 decisions here are Matron for Expert, bad against another Bolt, or even a Borrower. A very uncastable Red Blast, very uncastable Muxus. But I get Skirk here. It solves both problems, right? We draw a land, we can Muxus, and if we want to, we can sack Matron to blast the Delver. Passing. Oh, Pashlik Months. Pashlik's Months is really nice. Pashlik Months are really nice. Because this means that Pyromancer is less of a threat. Skirk. Pass. Trying to see if they'll bolt the Skirk because I Matron for it. I do take the hit here because if I keep the 2 Goblins in play, Pashlik can actually just kill a Delver and I can save the blast for a True Name. Which I thought was going to happen there. Draw Vial. Vial's a pretty bad draw. So attack first. Yeah, maybe should have played Pashlik first, actually. But we do know that their card is Daze. I'm still taking these hits because honestly, I'm winning this race still. You know, like they've used 2 bolts. I think their hand is a bunch of counter magic. Honestly, I know at least one card is. So sacking Goblins to Red Blast, the Red Blast might just get forced, and if it gets dazed, I have to sack my sack outlet or my Pashlik. And these 2 on board is effectively insta counter to Pyromancer and to some extent Sprite Dragon. Expert's phenomenal draw. Because now I feel very ahead. They're dead in 2 turns. I get to kill a Delver. If they have Stifle for the Expert, I can sack the Expert to blast. I don't play the Vial here to play around Daze on Red Blast a little bit easier. Also, they could have something like Smash to Smithereens. In case, you know, so they're playing a aggressive Delver build. I don't think Smash would be like that insane to see out of their sideboard, so I just don't want to give them targets. Because I think they have a bunch of dead cards in hand, so I just don't want to give them the opportunity to cast anything. And they do concede here. That without a Bolt, they should have drawn for turn to see if they draw Bolt. But if they draw Bolt, they go to 6, attack for 3, and then attack for 3 again. And me being at 7 instead of 6 is like a pretty huge deal. Makes it much harder for them to raise. So if I had to hazard guess, their hand is like Daze, Force. Maybe a Delver and a Pyromancer that they can't play because of the Pashlik Skirk combo. All right. If anyone's new here, you can be sure to check out content on YouTube, check out my content on Patreon, which I'm working on right now. And you can hit the follow button or subscribe here. I appreciate any subscriptions. Kill on board with untap windmills, activate the Pashlik. Yeah. I have to kill next turn for sure if they don't have Bolt for Pashlik. I really appreciate your support. If you want to subscribe here to the Twitch channel or the Patreon supports me a little bit better, but if you want the sick emotes, you can subscribe here. Here are my emotes. Well, the Mind Break Trap one's my favorite. I'm a big fan of the Mind Break Trap emote. Any other questions? Any questions about the deck list? Any questions about Goblins? Happy to answer. Really feel comfortable with this list right now. It's a little hard to sideboard with because I'm still undecided on like Snoop in certain matchups. Like when is it good? Like when do you side it out versus Pile Driver? It conflicts a little bit with Pile Driver in terms of sideboard slots or like postboard slots, if that makes sense. If not, I'm gonna find someone to raid. What's the reason for not playing the other combo piece of playing Snoop? It is 3 slots for cards that I think are pretty bad. I think Harbinger is a really bad card. I think Kiki's a mediocre card. Oh wow, that old Snoop command. I gotta edit that now. Grenzo, I think Grenzo is mostly worse than Snoop now. Two Muxus standard, yes. There is a Turbo Muxus deck, which plays 4 Muxus. But it's a very different strategy. It's closer to Red Prison, but it's like Turbo Red Prison, because it's playing Ancient Tombs and City of Traders and Chromoxes. And doesn't play Vial, plays Chalice. I don't think you can play more than 2, just because you get the 6-drop stuck in your hand too often. Tarfire worth maining at all? I think there's too many Tarmogoyfs to play Tarfire main. Also just kind of a weak card. I have a Tarfire in my deck to tutor and Ringleader into when for Plague Engineer, basically. Well, I mean, it kills. It's good against, like, it's okay against, like, Blue-Red Delver. Or Grixis Delver. But it's really bad if someone plays Tarmogoyf. Really bad. I'll board it in against Stoneforge decks. Sometimes board against Miracles just to have, you know, Mentor, 1 mana kill, potentially kill a Mentor, but also 1 mana kill Containment Priest is really strong. Why should people save their money, not invest in basic planes from Goblins over D&T? So Goblins over D&T, D&T, is it weird to say I think D&T has worse combo matchups? For the most part. Except for, like, depths. Obviously, D&T is a way better depths matchup, but, like, D&T cannot beat Doomsday, and it's really bad against elves for the most part. I think Goblins has, like, a pretty good 50-50 shot against both those decks. Show and Tell is probably close to the same. Maybe better for Goblins, I'm not sure. You're better against... I think 60-card D&T is worse against the control decks. Still toying with the sideboard. I think the sideboard's pretty tight. Ever consider to squeeze the Immortal? Nah. It's just like... It's just too expensive. If it was 2 mana, I think I would play it as just like this infinite 2-1. The fact that it's a 2-1, it's pretty bad. Yeah, the days where D&T crush Show and Tell are kind of over. It's still fine, because, like, Thalian Prelate and Wisp and... But, like, Revoker's gone, and Revoker used to matter against, like, Sneak Attack. I guess you can Skyclave Sneak Attack now, but it requires an untap at least. Yeah, I think Goblins having the potential to actually kill people quickly. Goblins is also better against Karn decks, I think is actually another big thing. So, like, Mono Blue Echo, I think Goblins is very strong against, and D&T is not. Red Elemental Blast is a huge pickup. I guess guest stars coming up. I haven't actually thought about that lately. I want to have Marcelo on soon because he and I are kind of working on this list together. But I gotta ask him. Don't think I'm gonna be playing Razorfin Hunter anytime soon. I saw who asked question I missed. What are the holes? It's a Kitesail Freebooter. I want Kitesail Freebooter on a Goblin so bad. That'd be so good. Discard effect. Exactly what the deck wants. Especially on a flyer would be insane. We would have to warp our mana base again to play more black spells. Should be awkward, but not the end of the world. I do enjoy that this list plays 5 basics. 5 basics is nice. All right, looks like we're running dry on questions. I hope you enjoyed your time here in the stream. Played just a couple of matches, but they were good matches. Let's see, who do we want to raid here? $13 is the cutoff. Yeah, so we could add the Badlands pretty easily. I mean, honestly, if we got like another black card, Basic Swamp is probably in the cards, no pun intended. All right, we got someone playing Delver. You want Magic, or I could send you over to a friend who's playing Loop Hero, which is a game that I am vaguely aware of, but don't really understand, if I'm being honest. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Appreciate Jarvis for the raid. Premiere stream going on. Eh. Oh, pre-modern. Eh. I'm gonna send him over to my friend Josiah playing Loop Hero. Thanks all for watching. I will see you guys next time, whenever that is. Quite sure. Good night.